Hello everyone, my name is Mayuru Vale. I am an assistant professor in Civil Department WIT Solapur. Today we are going to design a complete mix activated sludge process. So there will be a two parts. This is a part 1 and next video will be having a part 2 of the design. So what are the learning outcomes? Students will be able to analyze the design of complete mix activated sludge process, that is ASP, in wastewater treatment plant. Let us have an overlook of ASP. If you can see here, the first one is a biological reactor where the influent is coming, and in the same reactor the aeration is also taking place. So in the design, what we have to come across is what will be the volume of the reactor, then how much oxygen we have to provide, what is the oxygen demand, and along with that, after the supernatant of the reactor, after completing its detention time, when it is coming into the secondary clarifier, or what we can say a sedimentation tank, where the sludge is going to settle down and activated sludge is going to get produced, how much quantity of activated sludge we have to send back to the reactor, and how much quantity, that is the remaining quantity of sludge, we have to take down. So that is also we have to find out. And then what will be the quality of a supernatant, and what is the desired quantity of supernatant up to which we have to design all these two reactors, that we are going to look into this design. So let us have one question so that we can understand the design properly. Design a continuous flow completely mixed activated sludge process to yield an effluent of BOD of 20 mg per liter. So we have to reduce the BOD up to 20 mg per liter. Let us say capital L. And suspended solids of 23 mg per liter. So the effluent must be having a suspended solids up to 23 mg per liter. So we will be calling it as SS for the following data provided. So what is the data given? The influent BOD5 following primary clarification will be 200 mg per liter. That is our influent BOD. Let us say L0 or S0. Then wastewater flow rate is given to us, that is 0.2 meter cube per second. Let us call it as capital Q. Then Y is given, that is 0.65. KD is given 0.05. Then theta C, that is sludge retention time, which will be 10 days. Then MLVSS is given, that will be 3000 mg per liter. Let us call it as small x. Then return sludge concentration, that is 15,000 mg per liter of suspended solids is given to us, and then MLVSS ratio is also given, that is it is general, that is 0.8. So in the design there will be 10 steps. So first steps we will be talking in this video, and in the next video we will be discussing about the next 5 steps. So for the first, that is determination of concentration of soluble BOD5 in effluent. So basically a BOD5 of effluent solids is generally 63% of the suspended solids, that is 0.63 multiplied by SS. So it will be 0.63 multiplied by 23 mg per liter, which is given to us. So it will be coming about 14.5 mg per liter. But this BOD is basically is in the suspended solids. It is not the total BOD. So we have to find out the volatile BOD or organic BOD. So it will be represented as capital S. And how we can calculate it? We can just subtract the BOD5 of effluent solids from your effluent BOD5. So we can write 20 minus 14.5, which will be coming about 5.5 mg per liter. Then the second step will be determination of treatment efficiency, where we are going to find out how much efficient will be our ASP. So efficiency can also be divided into two parts. The first one will be efficiency based on soluble BOD. So it will be represented as ES, which will be equal to S0 minus S divided by S0 multiplied by 100. So that is our 200 minus 5.5 divided by 200 multiplied by 100, which will be coming about 97.25%. It means we are reducing the BOD up to 97.25%. The second one will be overall plant efficiency, which we can write it like E which is equal to L naught minus L divided by L naught multiplied by 100. So that is 200 minus 20 divided by 200 multiplied by 100, which will be coming about 90%. So let us go to the step 3, that is computation of reactor volume. We know that Q is 0.2 meter cube per second, but if we want to go for the formulation to calculate the volume, we need the flow rate in terms of meter cube per day. So we will convert meter cube per second to meter cube per day. So how we can do that? Just go through this writings, that is 0.2 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 24. Here 10 raised to 3 means I am converting meter cube to liters, and I am multiplying 60 into 24, that is I am converting seconds to per day. So it will be coming about 17.28 into 10 raised to 6 liters per day. So you have to remember this value also, because in the coming steps we need flow rate in liters per day also. So if I am converting 17.28 into 10 raised to 6 liters per day to meter cube per day, I will get 17280 meter cube per day. Right? So I am getting the flow rate in meter cube per day now. Let us use the formula. What is the formula? XV is equal to YQ theta C in bracket S0 minus S divided by 1 plus KD theta C. Here what you have to understand, we know all the values. Only one value is remaining, that is your capital V, which is represented by the brown color. So I am putting all the values in the equation, that is 300 multiplied by V is equal to 0.65, that is the value of Y given to us. Then flow rate multiplied by 10, that is in days, which is also given to us. Multiply by 200 minus 5.5 divided by 1 plus 0.05 into 10. So this 0.05 is our KD, which is also given to us. Then calculating, we will get volume is equal to 4.855 into 10 raised to 6 liters. So, but I want the volume in meter cube, so I will convert it into meters just by dividing by 1000, and I will get 4855 meter cube. So that will be my volume of the reactor. I am not talking about the sedimentation tank, but my aeration tank. Let us go to the fourth step. Fourth step will be computation of sludge to be wasted. That is how much sludge we have to take out and how much sludge we have to add up. That is what we are discussing about in this step. It will be represented as QW. The rate of sludge, that is our biological solids, production will be obtained by a equation, that is Px is equal to dx by dt, which is also represented by xv by theta c. It can also be represented as yq in bracket s0 minus s divided by 1 plus kd theta c. If you can understand how this part of the equation is coming, basically I am using the same equation which I had used for the calculation of volume in step 3. Fine, I am just putting the value of xv here, by which I will get this part. Now you must understand what is Px. Px is basically the quantity of a microbial mass, or what we can say VSS, right? That is your volatile suspended solids, which is always equal to 0.8 into SS, which is also this 0.8, that is a ratio, is also given to us in the question. So it is produced per unit time. So we can put Px as kg per day. By putting all these values which we know, we will get the value of Px as 1.456 into 10 raised to 9 mg per day, which we can also say 1456 kg per day. Now coming to the fourth step, that is our continuation. As we know the Px, we can easily calculate SS production, that is VSS divided by 0.6. This Px is basically our VSS. So by calculating it, that is 1456 divided by 0.8, we will get 1820 kg per day. So that is our SS production. But under flow solid concentration, we know that is 15,000 mg per liter, which is given to us. So the sludge to be wasted will be written as SS production divided by underflow solid concentration. That is 1820 into 10 raised to 6 I'm converting kg per day into mg per day divided by 15,000 mg per liter, I will get 1 to 1.3 into 10 raised to 6 liters per day, by which I can also say QW will be 1 to 1.3 meter cube per day. So this is the volume of the sludge which we have to be wasted. Now coming to the fifth step, that is determination of recirculation flow. I can use the formula, that is Q plus QR into X will be QR into XR, which will be written as QR is equal to Q into X divided by XR minus X. I know the value of Q, that is 1720 meter cube per day. What is X here? X is basically aerator VSS concentration. We know that is 3000 mg per liter. Then XR is return VSS concentration, which will be 15,000 multiplied by 0.8. That is our ml VSS ratio, by which we will get 12,000 mg per liter. By putting this here, I will get the value of QR, that is 5760 meter cube per day. I can easily calculate recirculation ratio also, that is my QR by Q, that is 5760 divided by 17280, that is 0.33. It means that 33% of the whatever the sludge which is produced will be recirculated, and the remaining 66.66% or 67% will be wasted out. So let us have few review questions. First, S0 and S doesn't represent total BOD of influent and effluent respectively, but represent only portion of BOD which is soluble, whether this statement is true or false. Then treatment process fails or becomes inefficient when S0 is equal to S or S is greater than S0, then both A and B or none of the above. Then mass of solids in the reactor, basically it expresses as Vx then Q minus QWX or QWX or none of the above. Let us see their answers. The first one will be the true statement. Second will be that reactor become inefficient if S is equal to S0. If it means that there is no BOD removal happening, then mass of solids in a reactor is always represented as Vx. These are the references I have used to make this PPT. Thank you.